Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Stock Market Morning Prep video for Thursday, July 16th. Well, we had pretty much of a non-existent trading day yesterday until after hours, and I'm going to get into that in a moment. But we had Fed Chair Janet Yellen speaking yesterday. Markets were in a very, very tight range, consolidating basically, if you will, the last 4 days of gains. I mean, we've been up 4 days straight in a row, just under 100 S&P points. Absolutely insane. Nobody wanted them a week ago, and now they want them, and they want to buy them into new highs. So just crazy, crazy price action yet again. So after hours, we had Intel reported, Netflix reported. They both beat earnings. We also had some good banking earnings that came out yesterday as well, and the markets pushed in the after hours. So you had no real movement, but right now we're up about 9 handles in the S&P and about 68 Dow points in the pre-market session. Okay, so we really have the movement in the overnight right now. So again, looks like everybody wants to buy stocks, and we are going to continue to have these algorithms continue to look for their stops and keep probing the market higher yet again. We do have day 2 of Janet Yellen testifying again. Keep an eye on that. We also have Philly Fed manufacturing that comes out at 10 o'clock Eastern time in the United States. And also we had Philly Fed employment at 10 o'clock as well. So just be aware of what's going on. We're looking at China. China, again, as you can see here, really not doing too well. We did get that oversold dead cat bounce to be expected. Have a little bit of a bull flag here. But again, we want to keep an eye on what China is doing, guys. Remember that, okay? Don't get all pent up on this euphoria. Now, I do think there are a lot of longs buying up here. I don't think it's enough. I think we need that full euphoria of I got to get into the stocks because it's going to go to 2,300 in the S&P. When that happens is when you can see, rest assured, there will be a short-term top in place, okay? XLI ETF, 30% weighted in the S&P. Take a look. Head and shoulders pattern. Not quite there. We did miss it by maybe a few ticks. But we're back testing now this neckline area. Again, this needs to really get back above it and recover nicely. And then I could see us possibly maybe moving higher. But remember, watch this XLI 60-minute chart here, head and shoulders pattern, which triggered reversal. Okay. Also, look into the indexes. Looking at the Spiders daily here, I like the fact that we're back above it. But if you look at for 4 days, we've been up. I do believe it's a little tired, looking for at least a little bit of weakness. But remember when I said in the beginning of the week, I am looking for some strength, and we did get some strength going into the last week of June into that second, third week of July, which lines up into options expiration, which is generally bullish. So it would not surprise me if we continue to move up today and tomorrow, and then look for some sort of a retreat going into the last week or so of July and get that little bit of a sell-off, possibly a little bit of retracement. Again, guys, if you think the markets are not going to go up any further, think again. Remember, we are just about 80 to 90% algorithm trading. It's all computerized, so there is no stop. They just continue to go and run stops until it stops, and then they reverse and go down again. So that's what we're dealing with here, okay? But again, if you look at the Spiders, we've been in a massive range for the backside of 2015. We still have not broken out. And if you remember when I mentioned back about here, about last week, maybe a week and a half ago, I said how and I showed you an ES chart, how 2040 really is holding up well based on a lot of what's going on with Greece. And I said, that's a very good sign. It would not surprise me if we test the highs. And that's exactly what we did. But remember, a lot of what's going on is in the pre-market. A lot of the movement that's been happening is in the pre-market session. We either gap up or gap down, and then we have to look for our spots. And if you can get 1 or 2 trades in for the day and you made money, you're lucky, because a lot of the movement's been happening on the gap. And you could see here yesterday we really did nothing all day yesterday, put in a doji. Now we're going to be much higher than that. We'll probably start tagging a little bit of this ascending triangle, this top area of resistance. Okay, so we'll see what happens today and tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting. Diamonds here, as you can see, big push up. We have a big gap. And remember, eventually, not all gaps are filled, but 90% of gaps will get filled. And this gap here, to me, in my eyes, are going to need to be filled here, okay, at one point in time. Transportation sector, still horrendous, as you can see. Really have gone nowhere in 3 days. Let me open that up. Actually, 4 days, we've been in inside range and holding above the 20-day moving average, which is not so bad. But remember, guys, we need to continue to move higher here, and we're not. So China being a little bit of a problem child, the canary in the coal mine, transport's really not doing too well, and even the IWM really isn't not breaking down, but it's not doing as well as I'd like to. If it's leading, let it lead, because the transports, which is our main leader, is not leading here. So let's see what happens if we can start getting some movement to the upside. And my scenario that I mentioned before is getting that euphoria of buying, and this may be it. This may be the area where everybody gets back inside, and I mean retail, get long the market at these upper end levels, and we get a really explosive move to the upside, make all new all-time highs in all of the indices, and then really start looking for that divergence, that divergent top that we're looking for, and then roll again. So that's what I'm really anticipating in the next few weeks. Qs, you could see here, it did really well, and it's going to do quite well today if it can hold its gains. Now, I'm looking at Intel in the pre-market. It gave back just about all of its gains, and Netflix is starting to roll again as well. So we'll see how it holds up. It's going to need to hold here. If it can hold, then I think you got something here. We might have that euphoric buying coming in place here, okay? Keep an eye on it. Let's see what happens. Again, you're going to have to keep things aside here because a lot of what's going on, there's absolutely no volume, and it is options expiration. Everything gets skewed where the big funds and big money managers start squaring off positions here, keeping things elevated because of their options writing. What they're doing is selling option premium. And they want to keep that elevated, the market where it is. So just keep that in mind, okay, going into tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Good luck trading today, and we'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care.